Back here, E Xlolos Lazer up against Revenge Nation. And, well, like we said earlier in the pregame, we feel like Lazer's going to have the edge, especially here on Ancient, where they've looked quite effective over the past few months, defeating Lag. I mean, somewhat competitive against M80 when they played them. I remember that match. I think I might have casted it, actually. And it didn't look that bad for them, honestly. And I think of a few, maybe like a few frags go their way, then they probably would have been a lot more competitive. And M80 are no slouch at all. But here comes Lazer going in towards his A site. Great execute. Smokes are on point. This is going to be a bomb plant for sure.
Yeah, they got the molly as well for default, making it difficult to slide back in if Revenge Nation wanted to do that, but not going to have, like, the quick donut control for the post plant, so they're taking Temple instead. Landon leading the charge. He's got Glocks overwhelming right behind him. Moth and Dinoco to put the pin in any chances at victory for the CTs. Ties is in with the late round lurk. Well, makes it so that Max is all alone. Long range on the dualies. Can tap away with it. And has done damage to Moth as well. But the time is starting to expire, and he doesn't currently have a kit. So he'll be trying to escape. And escape should be possible. The question is, will he get out of mid?
Nope, he will not. And no one will get out of the round, because Tadazine and Moth go down to the bomb. So Lazer win the first. Nice execute, very methodical. And then afterwards in the post plant, patient, just forcing Revenge Nation to try and hunt him down, and they couldn't find them. So that was it. Well, very disciplined Counter-Strike coming through so far from Lazer. We'll see if that continues on as this map progresses. On the Revenge Nation side, they do not go for the force buy. They are just going to have USPs. That's it. Zero investment in this round, so they're going to go for the stack onto the B site and hope that Lazer go there. But Lazer, well, they're going to A, so this is probably a non-starter.
Yeah, a little unlucky both of this round and now this round. Just in that fact, the aggressive mid, like a quick B lane crunch is what Revenge Nation put together for their CT pistol, and like we saw, Lazer just on an A exec, find nobody home. So, same situation, almost a repeat, though this time sticking around. Tadazin is chilling. The top of shelf won't be tested though. Oh my goodness, is this just the call to sit Xlolos stack in a corner from the very beginning? Alright. I mean, this is fair enough. This is almost certainly, if anyone turns that corner, going to net you a kill.
We'll see. Okay, yeah. Trying to... They didn't get anything, actually. Peeking into it, W1 and Moth and Tadazine take care of business. So this stack does not work out at all here. And it will be a second round easily found for Lazer. Now Revenge Nation are going to invest into this one. It was a full save previously, and they tried for the Xlolos stack. Doesn't pan out.
Caveat, I said they would get one. That is if they stuck with the stack.
Yeah, they kind of fell off it a little bit.
Yeah, when they do that, I mean, it really gives the Leo a little bit better chances. We're getting another fast A pop.
I don't know if I mind it. We'll see what Revenge Nation can do to rebuff. And wow, what a shot from Dinoco towards Tree. And then the follow-up on Tabin after Tabin takes down his teammate. That's the A site taken again. And you said the Lazer doesn't necessarily like to play like a South American team, but right there, that's just a full-on push, Vincent. So, I mean, that's very much their South American roots. Starting to shine through a little bit, but I agree. They are typically more disciplined. Moth going to get an easy 2K, at least makes it look easy up against those rifles, and Max just has to save the M4. That is a very decisive round.
It is, and you're absolutely right. At the same time, also, this is not a lack of discipline from Lazer at all.
No.
Like, this is great to see. And as much as you said earlier, like, I don't mind this, I actually love it. I think it's an ambitious call, but one that has such good upside to it. Because this is best case scenario where you send Dinoco in, he's going to get a double entry. That's wonderful to see, first and foremost. But beyond that, this is just brutalizing any sort of momentum build on the CT side that Revenge Nation would be looking to find, because they just get run over. Even if they save, which they do, Sam's got his M4, full loss bonus, it doesn't matter. They don't have enough to continue investing. That's just a punchy call that has great upside.
Oh, yeah. Revenge Nation stuck on the pistols here. Aside from that saved M4, like you said. W1 going to toss the Molotov into lane. Lazer going to slow up the pace here. B stack is on. Lazer still haven't committed to either site. They're just looking for information. Nice shot from landing. Threading the needle against Lost. And when Max is dropped, it's all Lazer again. Landon's just jiggling back and forth, re-peeking for 3 frags. Only 1 left standing on Revenge Nation. That is Magic. So the M4 couldn't do anything. Magic is in no position to try and grab it and save it. And I mean, Lazer are probably going to look for a bit of a hunt here to get the last, even though they don't have to, because it is just a pistol.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit of armor, though, that Magic probably would appreciate to hang on to. I think that's for certain. Really explosive, though, and I feel like we haven't even gotten to see Revenge Nation play yet. That's how this game has gone thus far. Just to reiterate, right? Round 1, round 2, Lazer hit the site that Revenge Nation essentially aren't on at all. Get a very fast entry where ultimately you lose more players, but that round was over, that gun round was over when the smokes go up and there's no utility to retake it. So, and then of course this one's an eco. It's just been essentially blink and you miss it the first 4 rounds.
Oh, maybe there's one, at least for Magic, before he is dropped immediately by Moth in the trade, but a little bit of money built up into this next round to help out the buy-up. 4-0 for Lazer. You're right, it has been very, very rapidly to that point. But let's see if Revenge Nation can finally show us something. Cabin on the op, which they can finally afford. As we go into round number 5. Moth going to throw that immediate smoke for mid. That's the red room smoke. And, I mean, good execute right off the bat by Lazer. Getting that mid control with the smokes. They're seeing 2 players charge up eventually once they peek out here. That's Dinoco. Magic, detail out. Dinoco sees it and gets the headshot. Follow-up as well for him. There's one more player that they might not expect. Lost is pushed all the way down ramp, so he managed to get 1 tab and also finding W1, but it is a brawl for mid control, and it looks like it is going to be lost by Revenge Nation. Lazer have a 3v1 again and a free A bomb site to go.
Yeah, and this is what you were talking about in the pre-show that I hadn't seen in person yet, was Dinoco in the more forward positions, taking a lot when it comes to those early duels. We saw it in the first gun round. We see it here in the second, that he is just dominating. And that was an ace, by the way, there towards the end. This first shot was just great anticipation, but he's there for the trade on his teammates every single time there through mid. And though eventually Lost gets some work done, he will be removed as well. That's all looking good. And yeah, I mean, like I said, initially seeing this Dinoco move, I wasn't too negative on it, but didn't necessarily understand. And I think that, you know, if he's taking those types of duels and finding success with them, that's huge.
Yeah, I think like we were talking about, like there's that entry ability that he has on the T side, and of course the experience. That's what they were looking for in terms of a player. So it's kind of, it sucks, right? There's no other way to put it for Renanzine, because he grew with this team. He helped them get to where they are, but then, you know, he was considered a disposable piece that they could replace with Dinoco, and they wanted to upgrade, and that was their direction. So yeah, I still feel like Lazer could have done well with Renanzine, but perhaps we're seeing why they chose to go with Dinoco in this match in particular. Moth, want to look around here towards A main. Revenge Nation are going to get a few upgrades, not the full buying, but the MP9s are charging forward. Moth could be in a world of hurt. I think he realizes what's going down as well, and yeah, he's dead. AK upgrade available for Revenge Nation. The problem is for them is that all the information has been given up. So B site will be taken. You'd think they want to plant here on Laser because going to the A side might be riskier than just going straight for the plant, and there we go. They do back off. It will be a post-plant 4v4.
And I mean, it kind of looks like with the little bit of armor that they've got, and of course that AK going to be saving, that's further away, but they're going to try and give this a go with what they've got. No flash to get them through the smoke, though, is really tough. Boost over the top.
Oh.
Not the best of sprays there from Tadazin, but they should be just fine. The damage done. ×2, actually. No escape for Nightblade, but ultimately a victory. Dude, this is an unlucky start to this game for Revenge Nation. Like, credit to Lazer as well, but like they stacked 3 times and they've just not been at the right site every time.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate for them, no question. And I mean, Laser have just been cruising along. They looked absolutely and totally comfortable. 6-0 in their favor. Revenge Nation at least get an upgrade to an AK out of that round. And I thought for a moment they'd be able to do a little bit more with that aggressive push down in towards A main and finding that opening frag, but really it didn't yield much of anything. Sofer, flashbang going to get tossed here. Okay, mid-control. Gain for Revenge Nation at the very least. I'm not sure how much Laser are going to challenge here. They're playing more on the peripheries of the map, and you see 3 players into B, the other 2 leaning potentially into A main. I think they're going to go for a mid-fight here. A bit of spam coming through, but Zam actually slips into Cubby here, right outside of B double doors, gets one. Magic spams to find W1 with the M4, and also a 5v3 gained for Revenge Nation.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a puzzler for me on the Laser side of things. Like you mentioned, they're playing a little bit more passive this round, which I think is probably warranted considering the speed with which things have happened from their early round prior. But they're going to do that. I would have expected a little bit more setup, getting that flash moving forward for Dinoco through the doors down at B. And it really tees up Zam for a very free fight, because I think Dinoco gets team flash there, just a little bit off on the execution as well.
Yep.
You left a little bit to be desired. So a move back towards the A site for Laser. It'll be landed Moth, creeping it out. The Magic elevated on top of the big box is potentially a good one, but wow. They creep forward on the boost. That's one I haven't seen very often. Pretty creative way to get an advantage on that big box fight.
Moth's going to move in. That's a great flash thrown for him. Even though he gets blinded by it, he finds Sofer, and all of a sudden we're down to a 3v3. The advantage is gone for Revenge Nation. Player waiting towards Catacombs and CT, and the other 2 are coming from A main, but this is not favorable for them. Bomb planted, and 3 players go into Donut for Laser. It's going to be very difficult for Revenge Nation to fight their way back into it. Now they realize there's a player there. Good shot from Tabin. Absolutely required that. Then gets the follow-up. All right. That should settle things down completely here. As a defuse is going to be stuck by Tabin. Tadazine not expecting it. And this will likely be a Revenge Nation round victory. There it is. Defusal comes through, and they settle things down, even though it got pretty scary.
It did, and it was interesting, actually. There was a lot of question marks, actually, for Laser there towards the take. Like, once they got onto site, I mean. Because they had one right option, and that was triple up in Donut. They do that, though, and it nullifies the quick flank that was formulated. It had 2 players, Revenge Nation, walking through. They were already past, like, elbow and getting into A main by the time the bomb gets planted. Could have been a really great timing. Doesn't matter, because all of Laser are in Donut for the post plant. Just some unfortunate lack of trades there. I think Tabin doing a good job of playing hard to get on the re-swing that was coming from Landon, who posted back onto that AWP on the Brokey angle. So, Revenge Nation getting away with one and on the board finally as well. That'll be a bit of a relief.
Will it continue? They need more than just one. They need to get a little bit of a round run going here. Because if they don't, I mean, their economy actually, it isn't too bad here, but they're not going to be in the best condition should they lose this one without saving any guns. Want to win it, of course. And Max, well, that's not going to help. Tadazine takes him out immediately here with the AK spray down. 5v4. favor of Lazer. Magic tucked in towards the cubby. Landon waiting over at the B site for a peek. It's going to happen, and Landon has the advantage. Tab and gone. 5v3 just like that. You see Nightblade thinking about peeking around. He does and gets the headshot too. Tadazine tucks around the corner expecting additional aggression, but it doesn't happen. Now Nightblade moving around, looking, saying, okay, where is this guy? Is he going to be in the smoke? I don't want to risk it. So he backs off here. Still 4v3 advantage in favor of Lazer.
Oh, wait, that actually is very loud, the way that he fell back. That might give Tadazin some information. Magic reinvestigating through mid, trying to find if anything's going on. And he might catch a great timing here. Looks into the right direction, does W1, but Magic still wins the fight. And fortunately for them, and Revenge Nation, they've given up the B site in the process. That's spam, though. The fight taken. As Tadazin falls, it leaves Dinoco and Moth. Now 2v1 as they swing together. Well formulated by the Lazers there towards the end. And a little bit of a mistake, despite that great refrag that Nightblade picked up. He was just so loud about his retreat. I think that gave the game away to Lazer.
I agree with you. Like, there was really no reason to thunder stomp away there in that retreat. And then, like you were mentioning, Lazer clued in on it and said, okay, well, let's adjust and play off of that. And they do exactly that, going towards the B site, finding the open site available to them. And yes, there was a little bit of a fight afterwards. You know, you saw Magic trying to sneak in from mid. He actually had the opportunity for two, only gets one, and then he's being watched for coming through into Jaguar, and it's the easy trade that comes through for Lazer, which maintains the man advantage. And well, as I mentioned, that economy not that healthy for Revenge Nation, but it's enough to get an op, 2 M4s, the FAMAS, and the MP9 up, which isn't terrible, especially if Tabin
oh my
activate
goodness,
here. Yeah, like already towards tree is Lazer, so this is a very tough position and tough read for Tabin. We'll see how they play it. Sofer is supporting from Donut as well. Magic over in Catacombs, and Sofer gets one. The follow-up, no, but the trades are great, and Revenge Nation now have a 2-man advantage as Lazer are trying to adapt and they're scrambling.
This was a good call from Lazer, but it might not be over just yet. Dinoco grabs his one, and he's been very good on that first bullet accuracy. This time tapping away. Magic really enjoying playing on top of Big Box, but W1, that was a duel he needed to win if this was going to be possible. Technically still so with Dinoco in the 1v2, but he's just used his last bit of utility to help clear out Donut. And both of these Revenge Nation players are creeping up together to cover up the bomb over in A main. This is, I mean, the longer that Dinoco waits, the more of a question mark of where he's going to come from it is. But still, oh, and he's just made some noise.
He's not making any secret of this, right? I'm surprised he didn't just try to save the AK. There was a lot of value in the kit that he had there, and they don't exactly have the loss bonus here to work with. And I see a disconnect coming through here. Landon is no longer in the server, so I hear a lot of typing. They're going to have to likely call for a pause here to figure things out. But yeah, that felt like a recoverable round for Lazer until the fight in A main doesn't work. And I feel like the bomb carrier could have just backed off too, right? And gone back.
That's true.
But I understand at the same time trying to go for a fight and gaining even more an advantage than rotating off. Anyway, it just didn't work out for Lazer. Not that we can fault them that much. They're up 7-2.
That's also true. I do want to mention as well from Revenge Nation, I think what actually made that round go awry for Lazer is that Tabin saw a little bit of a shadow, I think, of the boosted player. I think that's what happened, and that's why he calls Magic in into Temple. He gets the extra play. I think it was Sofer who was right next to him, and that's why they're anticipating Moth, who did that whole little flying maneuver in the previous round, in the first gun round actually, and really made life difficult for Tabin. He had a teammate this time, and I think that early warning system kind of worked out brilliantly for Revenge Nation. Just a little bit of a spot on that shadow, and for me, a good call out of Lazer, where they had really one player there initially, but they took too long and didn't realize that Revenge Nation had an inkling.
All right, guys. Well, we have a little bit of a break. Don't forget to check out one of our partners, Hellcase. They're currently running a $400 plus giveaway that can be accessed just by clicking the link below, the banner below, I should say, or you can go to cct.gg/Hellcase and check it out for yourselves. If you also want to get a bit of a bonus, enter code CCT to get a 10% top-up bonus on the platform. This is for new and old users, guys, so make sure you check them out. Back to the action here. Looks like Landon is back in the server, so we're ready to rock with round number 10.
That's right. And I mean, putting it maybe mildly, Lazer are good. You know, they are still okay. Even if they lose the rest of the rounds in this half, they're still good. Not what they would be looking for, but it's what their early victories have given them.
Do have the AKs up, and Landon's back on the op once more because they had a nice little chunk of money saved up due to that ridiculous round run they went on, and it was a convincing one as well. So much cash, and W1, just the pre-fire gets so for Dinoco, finds Nightblade in the meantime, and then the follow-up on a Max. Can he get the third? No, but it's information gain for W1, and yeah, even though Dinoco goes down there, W1, the insta-trade, another 3v1 for Lazer, very well played in the early parts of the round, and throughout all of that, they were also gaining a control, so that bomb in Landon's hands is rotating all the way around for a plant. Tabin, it's a tough situation, right? Money's not great. He's got an op. He's got 2 pieces of util, a kit, armor. This is very much worth saving immediately and not risking into this round.
And this is another, what I would consider a little bit of an adjustment from Lazer as well, because, you know, they have noticed that Revenge Nation, if their utility's strong, they're going to be playing aggressively on mid. That's kind of been their default thus far, and Lazer just playing to not counteract that, but just wait it out initially and then crunch that mid control as soon as it starts to get a little bit more space to work when the first round of utility starts to fade away. Also, a bit ridiculous that Sofer has just gone down there through the smoke, like just not quite random spammed, but I don't think there was anything giving that away. So unlucky, really, but also just a great heads-up moment from W1.
I think that's just a spam because CTs often like to hold that angle when they're pushing down mid and stay up close. So he's just saying, okay, well, if someone's here, great. If not, well, I'm giving my position away. But at that point, it wouldn't really matter anyway because you're going to be seen eventually. So it's just a nice play coming through from him. And unfortunate, you're right. Like, there's really very little you can do in that situation if you're on that CT side. Anyway, 11th round of play. Magic completely blinded, but still gets the frag onto Tatazine. Okay, I mean, that's mid-control gain for Revenge Nation, but look at A. It's completely free. This is, in the current meta for Ancient, happens a lot in the early round, and you'll see teams activate very quickly to try and take advantage of it because the gap will be closed eventually, and you're seeing that happen right now with 2 players coming in from Donut. Landon watching, flicks, oh, didn't even have to flick. Magic kind of walked into his crosshair. Dinoco manages to get another one tallied up. He's up to 15 frags, having a game for himself. Tabin with the AWP watching and waiting. But he is going to need the help of his other 2 teammates, and actually he's gone. Landon ops him. Moth finds Nightblade, and Max, the last one standing. It's spammed down to 6 HP. He is not long for this world.
I wouldn't imagine. So this is the type of round that I mean, though, where I think that Lazer play a little bit more of that European style of Counter-Strike than other South American teams do. The little delay that they had there when they knew contact made in mid, based on what they had previously seen, that it was probably a relatively empty A site. They delay, just take a couple of beats to get all their utility out, to put it into the right place, and also, critically, to look for Revenge Nation to get aggressive. That happens, and what could have maybe been a hold falls apart before it even begins. Thanks to just, I think, a heads-up moment there from Lazer, being patient and waiting for what they anticipate is going to be Revenge Nation on the search for information, especially when the first set of utilities starts to fly through.
Yeah, and also I think they got some audio cues there from the players that were cycling through Donut, right? Trying to get back in towards that A site. So, I mean, they're just waiting. Landon's holding the angle. Like you said, the util is patiently being thrown out. And Revenge Nation were the ones scrambling for the entirety of the round. Lazer were in full control. Last round of this first half, though. And again, Revenge Nation committing a lot of bodies towards mid 3. In fact, have an opener onto W1. Moth retreating, not in a position to find that trade. They might adjust and go towards the B side because they saw, I think, at least 2. And there's some spam coming through, but there they go, charging in towards the site. Both players bottled up in towards Cave. Peeking around is Max, and he manages to get one onto Tennessee. Landon with one trade, but they're still down a man here, even though it's a light man advantage. Revenge Nation are swarming, and Magic will find that frag onto Denoco. Lazer are not committed towards B, though. They're trying to back off, but it is a 2-man edge now. I think Landon wants to try and find one fading away here, and then they'll rotate towards that A site. We'll see what the decision is. They've still got a minute to think about it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting aggressive down ramp would be the bad call for Revenge Nation. So they've gone Jaguar instead, but the advantage on the Shadow and the low HP bar for Max just gives him away. Still, 2 players strong in that direction. Caught spamming his Moth and leaves Landon 1v3. And with only 35 seconds left, he's kind of missed the timing to go to A if he wanted to, and it won't be allowed. Nightblade to punch that one down. Really fun, non-traditional angle that you'd almost never see an op on the CT side there from Tabin to open the round too. I mean, that is just because of how quickly the T's can get into that position, it's just a really high-risk maneuver for Tabin, but he goes for it, and it pays off for him, gives Revenge Nation a 3rd round. This is Lazer's map pick, but 9-3 is exactly the type of early lead transitioned into a big victory on the first half that Lazers were looking for.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Revenge Nation at the very least, I agree with you. Very risky angle to take, but you've got to try something a little riskier with the way Lazer are kind of running away with this one, and it works out beautifully for Tabin. Even, I would say that Revenge Nation aggressing 3 players into Jaguar like that in a man advantage situation was also quite risky. They didn't have to. They could have just waited on the site, but I guess they were feeling like they had to take the fight towards Lazer because of the way things were going when it was the other way around. Anyway, on to the pistol round here. First one goes W1's way. Lazer getting very aggressive on the flank here as the site has been taken by Revenge Nation. Bomb planted, of course, as well. But that man advantage is there, and the kit, more importantly, is available for Lazer. Tadazine is gone, though. Was he carrying the kit? He was. Oh, good. No, wait, no, it was W1, excuse me. Denoco and Landon going to combine for 3. Tabin, the last one standing, managed to get 2, maybe the 3rd. There it is, but W1 stuck the bomb defusal, and he would not pull off of it and add salt to the wound with the insta-tap headshot against Tabin after the bomb is defused. There's the 10th round for Lazer.
Oh man, that one hurts. You know that it's unlikely that he's the one guy with the kit, but it's always plausible. Kind of just calls the bluff, this Tabin. Even very snappy on the shots that he does hit, but that bluff doesn't pay off, and sort of a common thread, a storyline for Revenge Nation along the way of Ancient is anytime they're gambling in any way, it's just losses. Oh my goodness, how is Landon allowed to be alive for so long? Initially dodges the flash, gets blinded by the second one, will be traded out, but that allows a bomb plant, and W1, a menace through smoke, apparently. Will grab not just the first, but a second, as Sam from Big Box will go down. Lazer only lose just the 1 man.
Pretty straightforward anti-eco there. At the very least, like you said, a bomb plant does come through for the Revenge Nation side. That helps their buy up here, and Tabin's on an op for sure, if he wants to. Because he might not want to do that. Okay, there we go. He does immediately do it. And he will have one piece of utility at the very least, but the more important part is it is not a glass cannon because of the extra money they were able to get from that bomb plant. It will be full body armor afforded to him, and even the smoke he purchased up. As mentioned, Dinoco going for some early aggression towards mid. He wants that opening fight. As we mentioned before, he loves to find quick fights on both sides of the map. 17 frags. That's the wild part, right? Because usually, you know, he has his success in the openers, but he ends up at a round in and even kill to death differential. But here he's plus 11, looking fantastic, and continues to be solid against Revenge Nation. Right there, W1 just spamming Max as the smoke gets popped, and Moth in a perfect position to punish one. The second actually gets fragged by Landon, and it's all Lazer all the time. Only Tabin left in a 5v1.
Oh, this is, I mean, this is game over, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's gotta be. I'm even struggling to find a way to spin this for Revenge Nation, because I don't think they've even had a chance to play the game. And I mean, I think that's a huge credit to Lazer and the way they've been approaching this. Also, what I find to be a pretty funny note is that I think W1 has got 11 kills. I think at least half of those are through smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like, intelligent that he's getting those. It's not just random, but a little bit silly for that to be the case. But it does show exactly how dominant things have been here for Lazer over the course of their map pick. And this is what I meant when I was talking about, you know, maybe not the craziest map percentage win rate, like if you're looking just on HLTV, but you gotta keep in mind who they're playing against and the amount of reps that Lazer have here.
Yeah, no question. I mean, look, Lazer are looking excellent on the map. You're right about the amount of reps. Revenge Nation probably went into this thinking, yeah, they're going to pick Ancient. It's not going to be great for us because we don't really play it at all. And you can see when they did, it was a decent match against Lag, but Lazer on another level when it comes to this map. Landon, you want to be waiting here on the site. Here they come. Last chance for Revenge Nation, and it's not going well at all. Only one frag for them, two for Lazer. Make it a third and a fourth. It's all Lazer again. Max, last one standing. All hope on his shoulders. He's blinded and dead. W1, the 3K. He finishes with 14, tied with Moz, but at the top of the scoreboard was Dinoco with 19, and a 13-3 slaughtering here of Revenge Nation on map number 1.